Hello and welcome to Other Half Gaming. I'm Dan. Today we're here with a Sunday spotlight for the Elder Scrolls Legends. So what is it if you haven't heard of it? It's a collector's card game basically. It's a very kind of strategic game. You've got to really think about what you're doing sometimes, and it is pretty much very similar to Hearthstone, which is also very similar to Magic the Gathering. But they all kind of have their differences between the lot of them. It's a very interesting game. I am enjoying it a lot at the moment. But we're just doing a bit of a run through and show you guys what it is. But to keep in mind, it is still in beta testing, and it is still work in progress. So things are possibly able to change between this video going out and the full launch of the game. So things might disappear, extra things might come in, and bits and pieces could change. So, shall we start? On this first page, you can see you got store. You can buy packs of cards, tickets to the arena, all that sort of thing. You got the deck building and card crafting here, and you also can access your packs. Now the main game itself, obviously you have a practice mode, so if you do build a deck, you don't have to, kind of baptism by fire, test it in multiplayer battles. You can go to here and practice with your deck, which I find quite useful. It's quite a good idea, so you can tweak your deck without having to keep going into multiplayer matches. Versus battle is just normal multiplayer games, so the decks you have either built or the standard ones, you can just go straight in and use them. Story mode, so there's 3 acts in this altogether. The first act is pretty much just the tutorial. So 3 acts. And obviously the first act is all tutorial. You can't actually go into versus battle until you actually complete this act. So the other options are solo arena over here, and what that is basically you get a choice of 3 classes, and you which basically are made up of 2 attributes. So for example, a warrior class could be strength and willpower, which is red and yellow, and then you get to pick your cards. So you don't start off with a pre-built deck that you already have. You only get the option to pick from strength and willpower cards, which were in this case red and yellow, and you'll get an option of 3 cards, and you have to pick 1 out of those 3 cards, and you do that until you have 30 cards, I think it is. And then you have a total of 9 people to beat, AI characters to beat. So I've played it. Unfortunately, I've not succeeded in completely completing it, but I've been able to do it till I've had the last 3 AI characters. But what I do like is you get rewarded for what you do complete. So I defeated 6 people, so of course I get rewarded for the 6 people, which is good, because I think that if you manage to do, for example, 8 battles you won and you couldn't beat the boss, because the last one is always the boss, you can fight the other 8 in whatever order you want, but you have to beat the boss last. Then some of the matches could take a long time, and that's a lot of time you invest into it to get no reward if you just got kicked out for losing. So I like that aspect of it. It's still rewarding you for what you do, and I think that's a good thing. You have 3 lives in this, so you lose 3 times and that's it. You leave the arena. Versus arena is much the same, although in solo arena what you do get is when you win a battle you get to pick another card, So you basically add one card in every time you win a battle. But in Versus Arena you don't get that, because you're just playing online people. So obviously if you are 5 battles in and they're not, you're going to have 5 cards more. So everyone's on a equal playing field. At least at this point, when I'm making this video, that is the case. So it's you pick a class in the same way, you pick your cards in the same way. The only difference is you don't have a set number of people, you just keep going, you just keep battling until you lose, which is again 3 lives, and you get rewarded for the amount of people you defeat. Rewards can be pouches of gold, soul gems, packs of cards. I don't know if you get it outside of the campaign, but in the campaign you can get decks, and I think there's a max of 5 you get during the campaign. And obviously there's leveling bonuses, so you can when you can level a card. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to take you through a battle, I think, and I'll explain the battlefield itself and how the game works. Okay, so it's just putting together an AI opponent for me. Okay, so I'm not going to go out of my way to necessarily win, I'm just going out of my way to explain. So first of all, you get your hand. So to start with, you can replace whatever cards you want, which is pretty common in all these sort of games. So I'm going to get rid of both of these and hope for something a bit lower level. Well, didn't really work. Okay. So he's gone first, he's played a card, so that says, is there any abilities on there? No. So you can quite easily hover over the card of your opponent, and it will tell you if there's any abilities. It does tell you what the attack and defense is. Attack is indicated by the sword, which is 1, and defense of the shield, which is 1 again on this one. What we have around our picture, which you'll see happen as we play, are runes. Now, when they're set up in intervals of 5. So when I get to 25, the first one will go off. 20, the next one. 15, 10, 5, etc. And what it does is you just draw a card. There are certain abilities that lend themselves to being rune cards, but I will cross that later if we get them, or later on when I talk about the abilities. This over here, you don't always get it. I think it might be the person that goes second in this practice. I've done a couple of practices, but anyway, this one just lets me. It's got 3 uses, and it lets me gain 1 magicka once per turn. Anyway, so let's pop this fiery imp down. Okay, well, as you can see, you can't attack when you first place a card down, unless the card has an ability called charge. So let's just end the turn. Okay, now that's an interesting card. Now, it has a couple of abilities. Guard means I have to attack that if I have a monster in the same lane. If I have the monster in the same lane, I have to attack that. I cannot attack any other creature or the player directly till this thing is dead. Lethal basically means if it attacks a card of mine, because it's only got 1 strength, 1 attack strength, if it attacks something of mine that might have, I don't know, 5 defense strength, it wouldn't kill it, but because it has lethal, as long as it damages that card, so it takes 1 off of its defense, it would kill the card. And Prophecy, that is the ability I was on about. So if he had drawn that when he lost a rune, so if I got him down to 25 and he drew that card, he would be able to play it at no cost. Okay, so what have we got? Okay, I'm going to play this one down here. Now this card's ability is pretty good. Breakthrough basically means any excess damage. If I attack a 1/1 card, the excess of damage would be 1. So the damage he would receive to the player is 1. The pitch is also set up currently so that this side is normal. There's no ability if you hover over the circle. There's no special rules. But over this side we have a shadow lane. So anything played in this shadow gets the ability of cover. Cover is an ability you can get on a card. Basically means for one turn the creature cannot be attacked. But obviously as it's a lane, it means the creature cannot be attacked on its first go. Okay, this is an example of a charge creature. So this creature can attack first turn. So I will attack this just to get rid of it. And I'll just get rid of that just to clear the field. So as you saw, it was able to attack on the first go. I am going to summon... yeah, I'll summon this Hyrox summoner. And because of that, because of its ability, it gets to summon to my hand well, as you can see, essentially an elemental. Okay, so he's now played something in the other side, other lane, which is a guard. I can't actually. Well, as you can see, it's guard. I haven't got anything in there, so I can't attack it just yet. I haven't got anything with charge, so I won't be able to attack it anyway. But because it's a guard one, it has come in without the cover. So I'm just going to attack directly for a minute. Okay, so he's getting quite a few monsters. This is something you don't necessarily want. You don't necessarily want to start getting outnumbered by the opponent. It can get quite hectic quite quickly. Let's get that played down. So if I drop a mana, so we get 4, I'll play this on our Fiery Imp. Okay, and I'm going to attack directly. No, I can't. I have to attack a guard monster. So I attack that monster, which was a guard, and this one's ability was just that it does 2 damage when I attack, so that's why we got direct attack. This one over here, this is what a ward looks like with the wisp above the card. As you can see, just like that, when you attack it, even if it should have been destroyed, it doesn't get destroyed. It actually just removes that free hit, essentially. Okay, so this doesn't look good. It looks like I'm not going to do too well in this. This game isn't going to go well for me by the looks of it. Okay, let's get this guy down. Okay, so we may as well attack this guy and get rid of him. So at least we'll get him through and doing some damage. We're not going to bother attacking with that, because we just destroy it, and we may as well keep him there to take up one of his attacks. Okay. Okay, so what have we got? Let's get a couple of monsters down this side, I think. And we'll play another one, I think, and we should wipe this side of the field out. There we go. I'm going to play this one over here and boost his defense. And what else should we do? I'm also going to... Oh no, run out of magic. Actually, I'll pop one of these and I'll play this bow on it. But I get to silence this creature. Now silence, what that does is it takes away all the creature's abilities, items and stat modifiers. As you can see, nothing's there now. It's back to standard. So, I can now attack directly, taking 8 off of him straight away. I could, as you can see, the rune came off and he drew a card. Okay, so if you were wondering what that was, you can go up to this top corner and go over the last few actions. And as you can see, you got Prophecy, deal free damage, and gain free health. Okay, so let's end our go. So I may have to deal with some of these monsters, because he's getting a few too many. The other option I could do is, because I can boost this guy again, is just try and gain enough attack enough attack power to just beat him quickly. And I think I'm going to go for that, because now we get him down to 10. So he gets 2 cards in that case. And we're going to attack with this guy, bringing him down to 8. What else have we got? So, I will play this card. And I'm in there. But, unless he brings out something that's going to block me, with a guard, I've won this game. And there we go. So all I've got to do is get my elemental to attack. As simple as that. I think personally the game's quite easy to pick up. You would need the tutorial to learn the abilities and all this sort of stuff, but it is very straightforward to learn. It is very easy. Okay, so now we've done that. Let's see what rewards you get. I can't remember if you get a reward for practicing. Yes, you do. Okay, so we just get 1, which is soul gems, which I will talk to you about and come across later on in the video. Okay, so let's go back. Well, I will do separate videos on some of these, like the solo arenas and the campaign. I'll do separate videos on them, but essentially that is how you play the game. Okay, so if we head over to the deck builder. So, what we have here is all the cards I have. So, for example, okay, so we'll just run through the attributes to start with. So, red is strength, up here. Blue is intelligence, if it wants to pop up. Yep. We've got yellow is willpower, green is agility, purple is endurance. We have a dual attribute, and we have a neutral attribute. Okay, so obviously the dual ones can only be used in the ones which have them. So strength and intelligence, strength and willpower, intelligence, agility, willpower and endurance, and agility and endurance. So you can only use those cards in the deck, in the appropriate decks. Okay, so I will go through some of the abilities for you. We did cross a few in the actual game, but I'll go across the others so you know all of them. There are quite a few abilities. I think they are all pretty generic, really, compared to other ones in the similar games like Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering, that sort of stuff. So we have Breakthrough, which we saw in action. I think we saw in action. Which basically is excess damage dealt to opponents. So if for example I played this card on, I don't know, this card here, a 1/1. No, sorry, I'll take that back. I want another card. So if I played it on this 4/1 over here, and I attacked this 1/1, its defense strength is 1, my attack strength is 4. So there's 3 left over. It does 3 damage to the opponent. Simple as that. Charge means basically when you play it, you actually can attack on the same turn, where every other monster has to wait 1 turn before attacking. Prophecy, that is, as you saw the opponent do. If you were to pull a prophecy card while you're drawing your rune card because you've taken too much damage, you can play it at no cost. It doesn't use any magic to play it. You don't have to play it, but you can. Okay, silence. This is a summon and a silence. So summon, to start with, as you saw in the game, is any effect goes off. Any of those effects go off as soon as the card is summoned. Silence, as you saw in the game, basically it takes off any characters or creatures, abilities, items, or stat modifiers. So if even if it's another monster boosting it, it loses that as well. Okay, other ones we have. Cover. So much like playing it in the cover lane, cover basically means it gives a creature cover for one turn, means it cannot be attacked for that turn. Although, like I said before, if it's in the cover lane, it's always the first turn the creature's played. Right, I think that's all of the new, all the abilities in the reds I've got. I'll just double check. No, okay, so over to the intelligence. So we have ward. We did have a warded creature. It's that wisp above the card that you saw. Basically means when the creature should take damage or be destroyed when it's damaged. So even if it's a 1/1, it's attacked by 2. Doesn't matter. Basically, the first lot of damage is negated. It prevents it. So it's essentially like a second life. Okay, Last Gasp is another one. So almost the opposite to summon. So when this card is destroyed, the effect goes off. So for example, this one is when the card's destroyed, you deal 3 damage to a random enemy. So there. Another one is Guard, which we did see in the actual game. Is basically means that when you play the card, you can if the enemy, or if the enemy's played it against you, your creatures have to attack that one if it's in the same lane. So it cannot attack directly, and it cannot attack other monsters while there is a guard monster on the field. If there's multiple guard monsters, you can pick which one you want to attack. It doesn't matter, but you do have to attack the guard ones first. Okay, Shackle. I don't know if we used a Shackle, but anyway, Shackle. So what that does is it basically prevents a creature from taking its next turn. So if I shackled it on my turn, when it comes to the enemy's turn, they can't use that shackled creature. And I think that's all the new, all the abilities in this set of cards. Yeah, okay. So over here I know there's another one, Drain. So Drain, what that does is, for example, this one has 1 attack strength. If it does 1 damage, so if it attacks and does the 1 damage, I would get the 1 health. And vice versa, if the opponent did 1 damage to me, the opponent would gain 1 health. Okay, which is quite good. I've got a few cards that do that. The willpower seems to be very much a case of trying to gain health. There's definitely quite a few cards for health gain. So if you're planning to go down that route as a deck, then obviously willpower is probably the one you're going to want to use. Okay, so we have Pilfer on this character over here. So basically what that is the ability goes off when you do damage. So for example, this one, if it was to do damage to me, then it would get +1 strength, attack strength, and +1 defense strength. So it would get that every time, which builds up quite quickly. There are quite a few good abilities tied to Pilfer. So this particular card can get quite strong quite quickly. The other one in this slot is Lethal, which is pretty good. I think I've mostly seen attack strength 1 and 2 with Lethal. And basically what it means is if it does damage to a card, then it will just destroy that card. So I think in the campaign it describes it as a poisoned weapon at one point. So basically in the campaign there are a couple really tough defensive strength cards, and basically you can use these like this one attack strength against, for example, a 6 defense strength. You can attack it as long as you do your one damage to it, so it would bring it down to 5 defense strength. It would in fact destroy the card. Okay, I think that is it for the abilities, other than one at the very end, which I'll go to now. Okay, so over here we have, on the next page, an activate card, a support card. So it's much like the Magicka that I had in that battle, where I could gain 1 Magicka. This one is the same, 3 uses, and basically once per turn you can activate the card. That's the only other ability we have. So that's all the abilities I've seen personally. There could be more, I just haven't collected them yet. So that's what I can say for sure. The minimum card count if you're making a deck is 50. And it suggests that's what people like to keep to, because too many cards means you're unlikely to actually get to certain cards you might want, which is fair enough. That makes sense. The other thing I missed on this card was it's unique, so you can only have 1 per deck. But the other thing is your soul gems, which I will show you. Now, when you collect the soul gems, it will show you every card you can get. So, as you can see, the greyed out ones are all cards I don't have, and obviously the filled in ones I have. So, for example, let's click that one. So I would then, to buy this card, I can get, I would have to use 50 soul gems. So let's do that. Okay, so convert 50 soul gems into Dwarven Spider. There we go. So that's fine. But say you had you had 7 of this card and you wanted to save up for something else. You could use Soul Trap, and it destroys the card and gives you whatever the value is. So in this case, +5. So let's just do that. So if I had loads of a particular card and I didn't need that many, I could trade them in for soul gems so I can save up for a card I do want. So that's pretty much how the deck building happens. Okay, so there's only one more thing I've really got to show you, and that is the store, I think. So we'll just go across to this because I'm going to buy a pack so I can show you the packs. So you can buy packs, you can also buy arena tickets, because to play in the arena you do need to use a ticket or pay with gold you get in game. There's also redeeming codes, which are obviously locked off at the moment, so I'm guessing they haven't bothered giving out codes at the moment. So arena tickets, I think you can buy in 1s or 6s. Yeah, 1s and 6s. Oh, that's quite good. I like that. You're about to spend real money. There's so many games out there that don't specify that, and you know, you hear of kids running up huge bills. Anyway, packs of cards. Oh, that's good. Single packs you can buy with in-game gold, or you can buy 2, 7, 15, 40, 60. Currently you can't buy soul gems, I don't think, not that I've seen, which means you can't essentially pay for singular cards. Whether that will change or not, I don't know. I hope they don't change that, because I think that's a feature this sort of game could do without. Anyway, so if we purchase this pack, okay. So if we, well, I could either click the symbol in the right, or if I just back out to the screen, it's over here. So this is where you obviously play cards, go to your packs. So we drag them over, and the card pack will be opened. So if we just go through them, 7/5, that's a good card. A 5/1 with Ward. A 2/6 with Prophecy and Guard. That can be pretty good if you get it as a Prophecy because you've lost enough health. That's pretty strong in the terms of a guard monster. Arrow in the knee, very funny. Obviously, yeah, based on their guard with an arrow to the knee. It shackles a creature and deals 1 damage to them. Okay, a Prophecy, which is a 3/2 monster. And last one is a Murkwater Butcher, which is 3/2, and the abilities are on the first turn reduce Murkwater Butcher's cost to 1. So if you get that on your first go, so if you get that in your hand or pick it as your first card when you start, you can actually play that as a 1 cost mana. That's pretty good. That's a really good card for 3/2. There are a few cards in this deck or not deck, in the actual cards I think could do with adjusting, and a couple of them are healing. You can heal 1 monster completely, so you can have a monster with, like, say 5 health, you can heal it completely and give it +1/+1 for no mana cost. There's another one which is heal all friendly creatures and give all of them +1/+1, and it's only 3 mana. Yes, it's only creatures in the 1 lane, not right across the board, but free Magicka even to activate that seems a bit cheap. So I think there could be some balance in things maybe they could do in the future. But to be honest, I'm really enjoying this game. I really like it. I find it's one of those games you can quite easily, oh, I'll do one more game. I'll do one more game. Yeah, just one more game. It's so easy to do that, and it hooks you so quickly. So I'm really enjoying it. I would highly recommend anyone who gets access to the beta to go ahead and play it. If you haven't applied for access to the beta, go and apply. It is fun. Also, when it becomes available, I would still get it. I really do enjoy it. I think if you like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, you will like this as well. I personally would prefer this because I know the Elder Scrolls world that much more than the World of Warcraft world. So, I know the races and all that, so I know some of the characters more, or the creatures more, where I don't know the World of Warcraft world, so the creatures, the races, they don't really mean anything to me. I don't really know anything about them. So in the same way I understand why a World of Warcraft player would prefer to use Hearthstone to this, but I would say give it a go. I would definitely say give it a go, rather than dismissing it because it's not the same as World of Warcraft characters. So yeah, I really like this game. I'm looking forward to see what else they do with it, what changes they make, and where they go with it. So anyway, I hope this was informative. I hope you liked the video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!